continuing successfully. So I would like to thank all the participants, including our athletes, their coaches, and also all the sports science experts for making this program successful. So today, as a part of the program, we have an expert with us, and he will speak on psychophysiological disorders which causes anxiety, depression on human being during this COVID-19 pandemic. So let's welcome Dr. R.K. Lenin, MD, Ph.D., at present working in RIMS as professor and the head of departments, psychiatry. He is also Vice President of Indian Medical Association, Manipuri State Branch, and one of the eminent personality and a great motivational speaker. Welcome, sir, to this platform, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Sir, I want to remind you that SAI is an organization which is nurturing the sports talents and also polishing the sports person. There are five training centers under SAI in Mizoram, Nagaland, and Manipur in various sports disciplines. This is a little information about our organization, sir. So next, my heartiest welcome to our respected regional director, sir, Sri Francis Marwin, Deputy Director, Sri Lian Min Thang, and Sri Igong Cha Singh, all center in charges, all the eminent coaches, and my beloved athletes to this program. Before starting this session, I would like to invite our respected regional director, sir, Sri Francis Marwin, to say a few words in relation with today's session, sir. Sir, please, sir.
Thank you, Lokendra.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Lenin. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, I must thank you very much. Thank you very much for accepting being ourselves physical. Our athletes are staying at home, and it's a kind of it's a kind of isolation without proper training.
Yes.
And are not allowed to venture out. It's difficult situation for our young athletes. Even though at home they must be doing some physical fitness training, but then mentally they should also be prepared. So because of that, I must once again thank you for accepting our proposal, and it was our long dream that we wanted you to deliver a lecture on this subject. So thank you very much. Thank you once again, and our association with you will not end here only, and we may require your service furthermore in future. Thank you very much. So Lokendra, over to Lokendra. We can start our session, I think. So.
Thank you very much, sir, for your beautiful words. So next is, without taking much time, I would like to hand over our session to our respected speaker, Dr. R.K. Lenin Singh. Sir, please start your session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At the outset, I am so grateful for giving me this opportunity to interact with the sports personalities and the sports young athletes. First of all, I would like to convey my regards to Sir S.H. Francis Marwin, Regional Director, SAI NERC, Imphal. And for this particular program, as well as Sir might be remembering that on 17th of March 2021, Sir has accepted my request to conduct a study from our department, and I have sent Mrs. M.C. Fujika, and she was allowed to conduct a study, and the topic of the study is evaluation of psychiatric morbidity among student athletes of Manipur. And we started with the cooperation of SAR and the other coaches, but because of the COVID, we have stopped that in the beginning itself. But I request all the coaches and the student athletes attending today that if you kindly permit us to conduct the same study now also online, that will be I will be very grateful, because it is time bound, and also we would like to know as a consequence to this interaction also, I think more students will be willing to take part in the study. So we would like to know how many of us are having some psychological stress, and we would like to address that issue also if it is significant number comes up. So this is the just in the beginning, I would like to request everyone concerned in the Psy-NERC Imphal, and I would like to thank Sir Lokendro in charge of sports medicine, sports science, I think, and for your kind words and for extending invitation to me.
Most welcome, sir.
Thank you. To all my beloved students, athletes of Psy, and all the teachers and officials. Today, the topic we were considering to interact with all of you is how to keep ourselves physically and mentally fit during this COVID-19. The first part, the physically fit, that part has been taken care of all throughout by our teachers or coaches. And during this COVID-19, also, they might be extending help through online or, but now we are concerned with mostly the psychosocial stress. But when we talk about the psychosocial responses or psychosocial impacts of anything, especially COVID-19 at this point of time, we must also include physical health, because this physical health and mental health, they are the two sides of a coin. So before going further, I would like to inquire in Sir Lokendro whether we shall continue in English, Manipuri, or mix, or how shall we go about the students from Mizoram,
yes, sir.
from Nagaland
Yes.
will not be understanding Manipuri.
Yes, so please mix. Yes.
Okay, of course. In the beginning, I think we should also encourage the local language, but I don't know the Aizol and Nagamese, Mizo language and Nagamese. But I have many students here, but they all pick up English and our language. Okay, so this is a big challenge, one of the biggest challenge of our generation. We learn from history that every century there is a pandemic. There was a pandemic for plague, cholera, Spanish flu, and many others. It comes almost in each century. And we also have recorded that millions of people has been wiped out from the surface of the earth because of this pandemic now and then. And also we learned that after the pandemic, last time at Spanish flu pandemic, the mental illness is 5 times more the usual normal time, 5 times. तो पैंडेमिक के बाद पैंडेमिक जैसा कोविड-19 हर एक सेंचुरी में एक बार आते हैं, और सेंचुरी ये पैंडेमिक के वजह से बहुत लोग की जान चला जाते हैं, और उनके बाद मेंटल हेल्थ और मानसिक का बीमारी 5 बार मतलब 5 times, 5-fold increase. So during this pandemic also we might have experienced some anxiety, some fear, apprehension, then irritability, lack of concentration, forgetfulness, then boredom, then appetite loss or appetite increase, sleep disturbance. These are the common symptoms, and we need not call all these sufferings or symptoms as illness, but we do have psychological symptoms. We do have stress-related signs and symptoms. इसी पेंडेमिक के कारण सब लोग के मन में घबराहट होता है, डर सी लगता है, और ये कंसंट्रेशन कम हो जाता है, मेमोरी लॉस हो जाता है, भूल जाता है बार बार, और गुस्सा हो जाता है छोटे छोटे चीज में, और घर में बातचीत करने में और कोई भी काम करने का इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता है, और कमरा में अकेला रहना और मोबाइल के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करना, ये हेल्दी प्रैक्टिस नहीं होता है. I understand that all the athletes were accustomed to morning workout and evening workout, and they might be taking care of their health, they might be taking care of their nutrition, they might be taking care of the leisure time, and also interacting with the other friends and interacting with the coaches increases their talent as well as motivation, and they try harder and harder to achieve their goal, and they learn their skill. तो ऐसा माहौल में सब एथलीट का साथ बातचीत करना और कोच के बाद उसके राय लेना, उसकी एडवाइस लेना, उसकी पॉजिटिव क्रिटिसिज्म सुनना, ये सब बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि आपकी स्किल और आपकी मानसिक का भाव और आपकी शारीरिक भाव सब इसी में increase होता है. It is very good for all of you, but that opportunity is gone now, and that gives you much impact in your mind. And on top of that, we are also very much restricted because of the COVID control program. For example, we are under quarantine, we are under lockdown, we are under sometimes curfew, and we are not allowed to go out of our own residence. कर्फ्यू के कारण, लॉकडाउन के कारण हम लोगों बाहर जा नहीं सकता, मार्केट में नहीं जा सकता, और इसमें प्लेग्राउंड में नहीं जा सकता है, कमरा के अंदर में रहना बहुत मुश्किल काम है हम लोग के लिए. मतलब एथलेट्स के बहुत एनर्जेटिक है, आप लोग तो खेलकूद करना और एक्सरसाइज करना, वर्कआउट करना बहुत अच्छा लगते होंगे. तो इसी के कारण सबको इरिटेबल होता है और आपकी परफॉर्मेंस में आपको नुकसान होगा ऐसा सोचकर आपको घबराहट बहुत होते होंगे. You might be very much worried that your skill you have learned through the many years of practice might be decreased or lost even. So you have to start afresh. That might be one of the worry. And many of the competitions you could have joined have been cancelled, or you are unable to join them. I don't know exactly what has happened, but I read in the newspaper that many of the competitions, many of the sports events were cancelled. Even the Olympic is postponed for more than 1 year. So national competitions and all these things, state level and your intra centers of the SI, there might have been many competitions, but it is not going on nowadays. So all these things are factors, and some negative influence are also there during such pandemic. ऐसा हालत में बहुत लोग नशा के तरफ हो जाता है, मन जाता है, और कोई किसी लड़का लड़की तो smoking, drinking and other drugs का habit भी they pick up during this period of time. That is very common, and the domestic violence is also very common during this time. So overall, the impact, the negative impact on the mental health is very significant, and we have to keep an open eye, and we should try to address it in time. Otherwise, when we become sick, mentally ill, going to a doctor, that is not the solution. That is not what we want. We want prevention. We want prevention. वो होने के पहले हम उसको रोकना और preventive measures लेना वो बहुत जरूरी है. But we are already late, so to say. The COVID is more than 1 year, and almost now in our northeastern states it is 1.5 years almost, and so it is already late, but better late than never. Nonetheless, it is always good to start a good thing, even though it is little late. So so far we are अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं कि कोविड के कारण क्या क्या हो सकता है हमारा शरीर में और हमारा तन और मन में, वही बात. Then अभी वैक्सीन का बात चल रहा है. Many of you might be under 18. अभी 18 our vaccination, free vaccination nationwide campaign has been started on 21st of June, and then you are left out. So you might be much worried, और ऐसा सोचते होंगे कि वैक्सीन लेना भी डर होता है आपको. You are afraid of taking the vaccine. At the same time, you are afraid of not taking the vaccine also, because people are talking about vaccine will protect you. वैक्सीन से आप कोरोना वायरस, वैक्सीन लेकर आप कोरोना वायरस से बचा सकते हैं. That is very true. The evidence, even though the vaccine is quite new, the evidence so far worldwide and including India is that it is relatively very safe. So we have given around 30 crores of vaccines, peoples have been covered by vaccine. In Manipur also more than 5 lakhs have been covered, and Mizoram and Nagaland also reasonably good coverage is there. But the mortality out of the accidental death or complications out of the vaccine is not that high. It's very, very minimal. It is just like the chances of being hit by a lightning. ऐसा बहुत कम complications है. But at the same time, आप vaccine लेने से 70 to 80% protection is there. But after taking vaccine also, you can get infected with COVID-19. वैक्सीन लेने के बाद भी आप कोरोना वायरस से हो सकता है, इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है, मगर उस टाइम में आपका सिवियरिटी ऑफ द इलनेस इतना खतरनाक नहीं होगा. आप मामूली से हल्का हल्का जो फ्लू की तरह होगा और जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा. इसमें मोर्टेलिटी मतलब मरने का चांस बहुत बहुत कम है, ना का बराबर है. तो वैक्सीन नहीं लेने से कोविड-19 पॉजिटिव होने का चांस ज्यादा है और कोविड-19 का इन्फेक्शन होने के बाद खतरा होने के चांस बहुत ज्यादा है. मगर वैक्सीन लेने से ये दोनों कम हो जाता है. इन्फेक्शन का चांस कम हो जाता है और इन्फेक्शन होने के बाद भी बीमारी होने का और बहुत खतरनाक बीमारी होने का चांस बहुत कम होता है. तो इसीलिए आपकी राय ठीक होना चाहिए. अभी वो जांच ट्रायल चल रहा है कि 12 साल के ऊपर की बच्चों को वैक्सीन देने का अभी जांच चल रहा है, ट्रायल चल रहा है. तो बहुत जल्द आपकी भी प्रोग्राम आ जाएगा. तो उसी समय में भी आप रिलक्टेंट नहीं होना चाहिए. आपके मन में राय अभी तक से बना के रखना कि वैक्सीन जब चांस मिलेगा तो आप वैक्सीन ले लेंगे. तो इसी तरह से आपने अपने आप को बचाएंगे और आप अपने आप को बचाने के बावजूद आपकी फैमिली, आपकी लव, मदर, पेरेंट्स, siblings, other brothers and sisters and friends को भी आप बचा लेंगे. So this is protecting not only yourself but also it will be protecting all your near and dear ones. So you should have a very clear and positive attitudes towards vaccination. Vaccination is very good for all of us. But luckily, unluckily, except 1 or 2 states in the Northeast, we are very slow in vaccinating. And people are very hesitant to take vaccine even though it is given free of cost. So that is unfortunate, but all our youths have to take a positive stance, and also you have to tell or you educate your family members, your elders. Some of them are not literate and they might be scared to take the vaccine. So it is your responsibility to inform them, to educate them, and also to motivate them to go to the vaccination center. That is one area. And then now, I think Oza Lokendro Koi si aina wangang ba khara loiraga question answer amuk tobagi matam khara logani ko.
Sir.
Aduna patra.
Mayam dagi question khara lakadaba male.
Oh, aduna pare. Aduna di aina ngang buda chithab singdo question dagi muku khatpa aduna pare. Aduna ai management ki matang do khara mo haizarage ko. Now we will be inviting questions from all the coaches, teachers, and the officials, as well as mostly from our athletes. What is your problem? And maybe actual problem or maybe imaginary problem, or maybe the one which is bothering your mind. आपके मन में जो पूछना है वो आप तैयार करके रखना कि क्वेश्चन आंसर का टाइम होगा जब हमारा स्पीच खत्म होने के बाद. So most common impact on the mind because of COVID-19 is stress, tension, anxiety, fear, and depression. एक एक करके हम आपको बताएंगे. First of all is everyone, 100% of us are having psychological impact. Earlier COVID-19 के पहले mental health survey के बावजूद ऐसा पता चलता है कि 100 आदमी के अंदर 10 आदमी मेंटल इलनेस होता है, कोई ना कोई तरह की मेंटल इलनेस. जैसे नींद नहीं आना, इंसोम्निया, ये भी एक तरीका है. और घबराहट होना ज्यादा, ये भी एंजाइटी, ये भी एक मानसिक बीमारी है। और बड़े उम्र लोग के अंदर में जल्दी जल्दी भूल जाना, अपने आप की बच्चा लोग को भी पहचानता नहीं है, ये भी एक डिमेंशिया का बीमारी है। ऐसा करके अलग अलग बीमारियों को इकट्ठा लेके एक 100 के अंदर में 10 मानसिक बीमारी होता है। अभी इसी कोविड-19 के अंदर में 100%, 100 के अंदर 100, एक ना दूसरा one or other form of mental psychological impact is there. At least all of us are at least apprehensive, scared, feared and anxious. और रात को नींद नहीं आना, खाना भूख नहीं लगना और घबराहट होना, ये क्या होगा, वो क्या होगा, ये सच है, ये सच है, ये गलत है, ऐसा विचार में बहुत टाइम लगता है। और इसी को ज्यादा होने का, इसी को इसके मात्रा ज्यादा होने के कारण भी बहुत है। सोशल मीडिया ये एक कारण है। सोशल मीडिया में बहुत लोग बोलते हैं जो बिना उसके फाउंडेशन बेसलेस होता है, कोई साइंटिफिक बेसिस नहीं होता है। उसके मन में जो सोचा है वो लिखता है, वो बेचता है, वो वीडियो बनाता है और कभी कभी फेक्स होता है, फिर भी आपको देखने से बहुत घबराहट होता है। जैसा एक जगह में 20 लोग की 30 लोग की वो होता है, क्रीमेशन होता है और हॉस्पिटल से लोगों को मरने के बाद क्लोथ से उसको बांध करके एक के बाद एक निकलते रहते हैं और टेबल में फंसाते रहते हैं। इसको देख के यूथ्स लोग के और सब लोग के मन में दर्द पैदा हो जाता है। ओ ऐसा होने से कैसा होगा, हमारा रिलेटिव्स को ऐसा होने से क्या होगा। और आया भी दूसरा बात यह है कि बीमार होने के बाद हॉस्पिटल में बेड नहीं मिलता, आईसीयू नहीं मिलता, ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिलता, इसी के कारण में भी बहुत घबराहट होता है। और टेस्ट करने में भी घबराहट होता है, क्योंकि टेस्ट में पॉजिटिव आ गया तो हम क्या होगा, टेस्ट में पॉजिटिव हो गया तो ज्यादा बीमार हो गया तो सब फैमिली को छोड़कर क्वारंटाइन सेंटर में, कोविड केयर सेंटर में, हॉस्पिटल में जाना पड़ता है। और सब लोग हमको दूर से रखेंगे, मतलब हमको स्टिग्मा एंड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है, मतलब हमारा साथ बातचीत करना, साथ में रहना नहीं पसंद करता है, दूर रहना, हमको डरते हैं। जैसा कोविड को डरते हैं, जैसा कोविड पॉजिटिव लोग को भी डरते हैं और ये ओपनली दिखाई देता है। इसीलिए टेस्ट करना भी बहुत डर से लगता है। और टेस्ट नहीं करने से भी क्या होता है, क्योंकि आपकी बीमारी को पता नहीं चलेगा और आप बीमार होने से इसकी ठीक से इलाज नहीं करोगे। तो इसके बीच में दोनों बात के अंदर में आपको बहुत नुकसान होता है कि करेगा क्या, टेस्ट करेगा नहीं करेगा, ऐसा अलग अलग से विचार आके आपके मन को डिस्टर्ब होता है ना। तो इसी के कारण जो सबको एक तरह की या दूसरा तरह की मानसिक और साइकोलॉजिकल अटैक होता है, आपको नुकसान भी देता है। सच यही है कि सब लोग का इम्पैक्ट, रेस्पॉन्स, आपके कोपिंग स्किल्स, आप इसी चीज को, इसी प्रॉब्लम को कैसा लेते हैं, ये अलग अलग आदमी के लिए अलग अलग होता है। कोई आदमी बहुत बोल से लेता है कि जो भी होगा वो हो जाएगा, हम फेस करेंगे। और कोई लड़का लड़की तो ऐसा लगता है कि ओ हमको क्या होगा, ऐसा करके सोच के बहुत डर सी लगता है, अफ्रेड होता है, डिप्रेशन होता है और बार बार रीएश्योरेंस लेता है पेरेंट्स से या फ्रेंड से, और बार बार टेस्ट करने का, मतलब आपकी कॉन्फिडेंस खो गया, बार बार टेस्ट करने का, जांच करने का होता है, मन करता है और कर भी देता है। उन लोगों का हम क्या बोलता है, वरिड वेल बोलता है। वरिड वेल क्या है, खुद को तो पॉजिटिव नहीं है मगर अपने आप को समझता है कि पॉजिटिव हो गया, इसीलिए खाना भी अलग से खाता है और उसकी नहाने धोना, मतलब बाथरूम भी अलग से हो गया, कमरा अलग हो गया, सबके बीच में नहीं आता है, अपने आप को पॉजिटिव जैसा मान जाता है, मगर वो सच में तो पॉजिटिव नहीं है। इसी हालत में उनकी मानसिक परेशानी बहुत है, वो लोग बहुत एंग्जाइटी पैदा हो जाता है और डिप्रेशन भी हो जाता है। कभी कभी सुसाइड करने के भी मन करता है, मगर इतना दर्द हो गया कि जीने का वो आशा छोड़ देता है कभी कभी। और ये भी एक कारण है कि कोविड-19 के कारण सुसाइड की थोड़ा इंटेंशन भी बढ़ गया है। एक मणिपुर में भी एक लड़की का शुरू में फर्स्ट वेव में उसका सुसाइड हो गया, खुदकुशी, खुद मरती थी वो, क्योंकि कि वो पॉजिटिव होने के बाद नेगेटिव हो गया दोबारा। फिर भी घर आने में सब घर वालों और नेबर लोग चला जाता है, उनको अकेला छोड़ देते हैं, तो इतना उनको लोनली फील करता है और वो अपने आप को ऐसा लगता है कि सब लोग हमको छोड़ के चले गए। तो इसी हालत में वो अपने आप की जान लेती थी वो पहले फर्स्ट वेव की समय में। वो भी एक इम्पैक्ट है, सिवियर इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द मानसिक साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट होता है कोविड-19 का, और इसका इलाज करने का तरीका जो फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ मणिपुर इज announcing that it is keep on changing because they are also experiencing which is good and which is bad, and from time to time it is giving directions to all of us for safety of the whole country and for all of us. So all these things we have to be aware. सब ये चीजें अपने सराउंडिंग में हो रहा है, अपने स्टेट में हो रहा है, अपने कंट्री में हो रहा है, ये हमको पता करना और इसके साथ साथ हमको एक्सपीरियंस करना और ये जो क्या विच इज गुड एंड विच इज बैड हमको डिसाइड करके जो अच्छा है उसको लेना है, जो बुरा है उसको छोड़ना है। ठीक है, हम समराइज करके बोलते हैं कि इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द कोविड-19 इज नॉट फॉर समवन, it is for everyone, but some people are mentally very strong that they stand quite well and they do not suffer obviously from mental illness, but some of us or majority of us suffered from mental illness because they are a defense mechanism or we call it coping skill. प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने का उसका अच्छा तरीका नहीं है, इसीलिए वो लोग बीमार हो जाती है और प्रोफेशनल हेल्प, साइकोलॉजिस्ट का हेल्प और साइकियाट्रिस्ट का हेल्प जरूरत होता है। ओके, एंड नाउ what are the different types of impact? I said stress is number one, then anxiety number two, and इसी stress and anxiety के अंदर में fear हो जाता है, fear भी अंदर में इसके अंदर में सिम्टम हो है, एक सिम्टम है। उसके बाद खाने पीने का मन नहीं होना और नींद नहीं आना, ये कॉमन सिम्टम है, वो बीमारी तक नहीं हो सकता है मगर कॉमन सिम्टम है। उसके बाद डिप्रेशन, उसके बाद वरी 12 जो हमने एक्सप्लेन किया, और एक्सट्रीम केस में सम ऑफ देम विल गो फॉर एक्सट्रीम स्टेप ऑफ सुसाइड एंड ऑल दैट। सो स्ट्रेस के बारे में तो एक अलग सी पूरा क्लास लेने से भी टाइम कम हो जाता है, मगर फ्यू पॉइंट्स तो ऐसा होता है, स्ट्रेस होने से आप ऐसा अपने आप को कैसा पता चलेगा। स्ट्रेस का सम ऑफ द साइन सिम्टम्स आर यू विल नॉट बी फीलिंग वेल, यू विल बी फीलिंग इरिटेटेड, यू विल बी फीलिंग रेस्टलेस, आपका नींद खराब हो जाएगा, आपका भूख नहीं होगा, आपका कंसंट्रेशन नहीं होगा, जैसा आप काम करने का नहीं मन नहीं होगा, फ्रेंड्स लोग का बात करने से एंजॉय नहीं होगा करेगा, और आपको टीवी देखने से और म्यूजिक सुनने से और गाना गाने से कोई आपको मन नहीं होगा, कंसंट्रेशन कम हो जाएंगे और चिड़चिड़ापन होता है, गुस्सापन होता है, ठीक है ना। और आप इसी हालत में और सभी लोगों को ज्यादा लंबे समय स्ट्रेस होने से क्या होता है, बीपी बढ़ जाता है और हार्ट का बीमारी हो जाता है, डायबिटीज का बीमारी हो जाता है, एलर्जी होता है, इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम दैट इज गट्स का मतलब हमारा स्टोमक और इंटेस्टाइन का बीमारी है। इसी में क्या होता है, थोड़ा दिन उनको डायरिया होगा, उसके बाद थोड़ा दिन आपको कंस्टिपेशन होगा, ये बहुत महीना तक चलते रहेंगे। वो स्ट्रेस के कारण है, वो जार्म्स की कारण नहीं है, इन्फेक्शन नहीं है, वो स्ट्रेस के कारण है। इसी तरह का अस्थमा, सांस लेने में दिक्कत है, वो भी इंक्रीज हो जाएगा। तो इसी हालत में क्या होता है, कभी कभी हम लोगों को ये पाल्पिटेशन होता है, मतलब दिल का धड़कन बहुत तेजी हो जाता है, सांस लेने में थोड़ा दिक्कत हो जाता है और चेस्ट में थोड़ा सा दर्द सी लगता है, तो आप सोचेंगे कि हम कोविड लग गया क्या, और हमको हार्ट अटैक होने वाला है क्या, और हम सांस बंद होने वाला है क्या, ऐसा होता है। इसी को हम बोलता है पैनिक अटैक। पैनिक अटैक इज वेरी कॉमन। Panic attack nowadays in COVID-19 time is very much increased, and many of our known friends and relatives, they used to call us asking for help for these reasons. So it is very common, and I think and many of our young athletes might also have this similar feelings of anxiety and panic attack during this COVID-19. Or the protective factors from all these mental disturbances are support from the family, support from the friends, and support from the this thing institution like your coach, your teachers, your officials, etc. But during this time, we are asked to be three things, four things actually. Then out of which one is social distancing. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का टर्म हमारा तरफ से तो थोड़ा गलत सी है. इसको सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग नहीं बोलना है, उसको फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग बोलना है. फिजिकली हम लोग 6 फीट के अंदर में नहीं जा सकता है, मगर सोशली वी हैव टू बी कनेक्टेड थ्रू फोन, थ्रू व्हाट्सएप, थ्रू वीडियो कॉलिंग और ब्ला ब्ला. अदरवाइज वी आर सोशल एनिमल्स. तो ह्यूमन बीइंग्स तो सोशल एनिमल्स होता है. तो हम एक दूसरे से दूर दूर रहने से और कट ऑफ होने से, आइसोलेशन होने से, हमारा सर ने भी इंट्रोडक्शन में बोला था, हम लोग आइसोलेटेड हो गया, आइसोलेशन में रह गया, जैसा हम जू में रहने वाला एनिमल की तरह हो गया. तो इसी हालत में मानसिक का बीमारी होने का बहुत चांस हाई है. तो हम लोग एक दूसरे को रीच आउट करना, बातचीत करना और एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करना मेंटली, इमोशनली, इट्स वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट. अभी इसी हालत में आपको पता चलेगा कि कुछ न कुछ साइकियाट्रिक और साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम हो गया तो क्या करेंगे, और नहीं होने से भी नहीं होने का प्रिवेंशन क्या करोगे. इसी में हम थोड़ा टिप्स रखेंगे. ये आसान तरीका की टिप्स होता है. एवरीबॉडी कैन टेक अप, ऑल ऑफ यू कैन टेक अप दैट you should plan the day in the morning, and earlier you have a routine that you see what time you have to go for workout, what time you have to go for the distinct practice and all that. Similarly, you should set your own routine now also, and you should not forget to set a routine. इसी में आपको कितना बजे उठना है, कितना बजे थोड़ा सा वर्कआउट अपने आप करना है, और आपकी ब्रेकफास्ट ठीक होना चाहिए, मतलब न्यूट्रिशियस होना चाहिए. ब्रेकफास्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मील इन डे. हम लोग सोचता है कि लंच और डिनर ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, मगर आपकी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट ने भी बोलते होंगे कि ब्रेकफास्ट सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट मील है, क्योंकि हम इट इज वी आर टेकिंग इट आफ्टर अ गैप ऑफ 8 to 10 hours, है ना. देन आपको सेडेंटरी नहीं होना है, मतलब बैठ के नहीं रहना है. Sedentary habit is the worst enemy in the modern society, and it is increasing the chances of hypertension, diabetes, obesity, weight gain, obesity, and then joint pain subsequently, and all the other bimaris will come after the sedentary habit. Athletes are very lucky that their way of life is always active and practicing this way or that way depending on their discipline. तो ऐसा रखना है, आपको बिजी रखना है सारे दिन, और इसी में फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज भी एक्ट है. तो सोना नहीं, घर में भी सोना नहीं. आप बेडरूम में करेगा, पोर्टिको में करेगा, यार्ड में करेगा, फ्रंट यार्ड में करेगा, बैक यार्ड में करेगा, जो भी आपकी जगह मिलते हैं उसमें करना है. और आपका जगह नहीं है तो योगा करना. योगा बहुत अच्छा है, मानसिक और फिजिकल. ये इतना अच्छा है कि ग्लोबली 21 जून इज declared to be the International Yoga Day. So it has been acknowledged worldwide, scientifically and otherwise also. It is very good. Then पानी ज्यादा पीना है, ठीक पानी से हाइड्रेशन होता है. डिहाइड्रेशन अच्छा नहीं है, किडनी के लिए भी बुरा है, स्किन के लिए भी अच्छा नहीं है. उसके बाद आपको नींद की जरूरत है. स्लीप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू माइट बी नेग्लेक्टिंग नाउ. Maybe many of you might be playing around with the mobile in the late night, till late night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. like that. The youths are like that, and it is not a good habit. आपको 9 बजे या 10 बजे, मतलब 12 बजे के before you have to go to bed and get up early in the morning, and minimum 7 to 8 hours or minimum 6 to 7 hours का नींद बहुत जरूरी है. That should be quality sleep. Just namesake lying down on the bed does not rejuvenate your body and your mind. So आप खाने पीने का चीज में ये भी आपके मन में रखना है कि फास्ट फूड इज नॉट गुड फॉर हेल्थ. आपको फास्ट फूड बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. आजकल का यूथ्स तो होम डिलीवरी का चीज बहुत अच्छा लगता है. ये चीज खाने के टाइम में टेस्ट और उसका लुक बहुत अच्छा होता है, मगर अंदर का न्यूट्रिशन बहुत कम है. समटाइम्स इट इज हार्मफुल फॉर द हेल्थ. तो इसीलिए ये फास्ट फूड के बावजूद आप होम मेड फूड ले लीजिए. घर में जो मिलता है, ज्यादातर आपका वेजिटेबल्स एंड फ्रूट्स में ध्यान दीजिए, प्रोटीन थोड़ा लीजिए तो ये बहुत अच्छा होगा। उसके बाद आपके ये शरीर की और दोनों शरीर और मन की और तन की हेल्प करेगा पॉजिटिव साइड में। और उसके बाद थोड़ा सा हम स्पिरिचुअलिटी मतलब अपने आप को समझने की कोशिश करना बहुत जरूरी है। हम लोग पहले सोचते थे कि मेडिटेशन जैसा बड़े लोग की होता है, बुरे लोग की होता है, all people has to go for meditation and all that. No, nowadays many people I think it is also there in your teaching program in your side, under your side, that this concentration power is very much increased by meditation. The power to focus on your own goal. Maybe you are an athlete, maybe you are a team this one event or whatever it is, that focusing on your goal will be very much increased by meditation, and it will increase your sharpness of the mind. And the positivity is very much important in sports science also, that I have to win and I am going to win. That type of confidence is very important. And many of the sports psychologists have also told that when there is a match between Pakistan and Indian hockey team, and always Pakistan have a chance to win because they are psychologically superior, and we are always scared. But I think that was the past. But it gives us a very important lesson that even though you are very much sturdy and physically fit, and your skill is also very good, that you can play very well, but your mental power is the deciding factor. आपका मेंटल पावर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होता है तो आपका विनिंग का चांस थोड़ा कम हो जाता है। तो इसीलिए you have to build up your concentration power, mental power, positivity, etc. etc. That is we call it positive mental health. खाली बीमारी को इलाज करना नहीं है हमारा काम आजकल। दैट जो बीमारी नहीं होता है, जो एथलेट्स ठीक से होता है, ठीक से काम चल रहा है, प्रैक्टिस ठीक से चल रहा है, उनको भी हम काउंसलिंग करेंगे, क्योंकि उनका पॉजिटिव मेंटल हेल्थ मतलब सबसे ऊंचा होना, करना, चढ़ना और सबको डिफीट करना, और आप विद फ्लाइंग कलर्स निकलना, ये सब साइकोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट चाहिए। मतलब आपको मानसिक हेल्थ बहुत हेल्दी होना चाहिए और आपकी साइकोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेंथ बहुत ये मदद करेगा। Some people are very good individually, but when they go to the teamwork, they cannot adjust with the team. टीम के साथ मिलना जुलना इसी आसान नहीं है, इतना आसान नहीं है। ये भी एक स्किल होता है, एक भी एक गुड क्वालिटी होता है एक एथलेट का। ये मेडिटेशन बहुत मदद करेगा और पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग उनको बहुत मदद करेगा। वो पॉजिटिव मेंटल हेल्थ है, वो बहुत जरूरी है आपके लिए, कोविड के अंदर और कोविड के बाहर भी बहुत अच्छा होगा। उसको ये ट्राई कीजिए आप लोग। और पहले भी हम बोलते थे कि कोविड-19 में हम लोग को अलग अलग कर दिया। पहले एक हॉस्टल में हम 50 होते थे, मिलते थे, कभी कभी झगड़ा भी करते थे, फिर भी पैचअप होता है नेक्स्ट दिन। ऐसा करके हम सोशलाइजेशन का जान, सोशलाइजेशन का स्किल, सोशल स्किल बोलते हैं हम, इमोशनल स्किल, ओके, दैट ऑल दोज स्किल्स वे आर लर्न फ्रॉम दिस लिविंग टुगेदर, ईटिंग टुगेदर, प्लेइंग टुगेदर, थिंकिंग टुगेदर, and working for a goal, common goal. That is very good for development of the human mind and development of the human society. So all these things में आपको ध्यान देना है, ये बहुत जरूरी है। तो आप अपने अपने घर में रहने से भी वो ये सब कर सकता है और अपने आप। और योगा एक हमने मेंशन किया है, और मेडिटेशन एक तरीका या दूसरा तरीका होता है। आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग ये एक वेरी पॉपुलर वन है, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग वाला। और ब्रह्म कुमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज, ओम शांति आप लोग बोलते हैं, वो ज्यादातर वुमेन लोग उसका प्रमोट करता है, माउंट आबू में उसका हेडक्वार्टर है। और अपने अपनी अलग अलग सी तरह की स्पिरिचुअल एंटिटीज, स्पिरिचुअल बॉडीज होता है, एक दूसरे से कम नहीं होता है, कोई भी आप ले लो, अच्छा है। हम रिलीजन की बात नहीं कर रहा है, रिलीजन अलग है, स्पिरिचुअलिटी अलग है। स्पिरिचुअलिटी हमको सिखा देते हैं कि गुड क्वालिटीज ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स। हाँ, सब इंस्टीट्यूशन ये बोलेगा कि आप ये you have to tell the truth, you have to speak soft, you have to do no harm to other people, and you have to think positive, and you have to be clean in your mind, you should learn to love yourself and love the other people. Until and unless you can love yourself and you have developed your confidence, self-confidence, you will not be able to love other people sincerely, honestly, and you will not be able to give confidence to the team you belong to. So first of all, you take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. Then you will be a very strong human being. Then everywhere you go, you will be able to spread the positive vibration. ये पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशन बहुत जरूरी है आजकल, क्योंकि हमारा सराउंडिंग में नेगेटिव वाइब्रेशन बहुत ज्यादा है। ये नेगेटिव वाइब्रेशन को दबने के लिए और पॉजिटिव होप एक बनने के लिए पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशन का जरूरत बहुत होता है। तो हम 100 से पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशन आ गया तो हमारा कैंपस बहुत पॉजिटिव होगा, हमारा प्लेग्राउंड बहुत पॉजिटिव होगा, झगड़ा बहुत कम होगा, प्रोग्रेस बहुत ज्यादा होगा। ये बहुत कम हो रहा है हमारा आजकल की दुनिया में। So we have to take care of this also, and this is a new mantra. If you want to defeat the other side of the country, then our NRC Imphal Center that we should try to spread this positive vibe, positive vibration from each and every coaches and then student athletes of the side. Then we will be unstoppable. Nobody will be able to stop us. That will be. Instead of mental illness, we'll have a positive mental health, and we'll be able to defeat everyone. So that should be that must be the confidence we should have. Okay. So नशा नहीं खाना, नशा नहीं इस्तेमाल करना है. When we get free time and when we are bored and when we are angry, when we are frustrated, first thing it comes to mind is कुछ तो करो ये कम करने के लिए. तो आप लोग खैनी की तरफ जाता है, आप लोग पान की तरफ जाता है, ड्रिंक्स अल्कोहल की तरफ जाता है, और दूसरा ड्रग्स है और marijuana है, गंजा, इसके तरफ जाता है. ये बहुत रॉन्ग वे ऑफ कोपिंग. ये भी कोपिंग है, मतलब एक टेंशन को कोप करने के लिए एक तरीका है, मगर गलत तरीका है. ये बहुत लोग करते हैं और उसके आउटकम अच्छा नहीं है. इससे आउटकम क्या होगा, इसका हैबिट हो बन सकता है, ड्रग एडिक्शन हो सकता है, अल्कोहल एडिक्शन हो सकता है, और इससे मानसिक बीमारी पैदा हो जाता है, और फैमिली का पीस हो जाता है, फैमिली में झगड़ा हो जाएगा, आपके पेरेंट्स के आपके ऊपर जो एक्सपेक्टेशन है वो खराब हो जाएगा, सबको नुकसान होगा, अपने आप को नुकसान होगा. ये मत कीजिएगा, और आपकी खेल कूद में भी वो खराब कर देंगे. We must not touch, or we must give up the substances of abuse. Maybe we will be thinking that any day I will be able to stop. That is a misconception. That once you are addicted, it is very difficult for you to stop, even though you wish to stop. So, सबसे अच्छा ये है कि शुरू करने के पहले छोड़ देना, शुरू करने के पहले इसको टच नहीं करना. ये सबसे अच्छा ये है, मंत्र है. ये भी आप ध्यान में रखिए. नशा और खेलकूद ये दोनों ठीक से नहीं चलता है, और अच्छा आदमी के लिए भी ये अच्छा नहीं है. ये नहीं बोल रहा है कि नशा इस्तेमाल करने वाले सब लोग बुरा आदमी है, ये तो नहीं बोल रहा है मैं, मगर नशा करने से और भी अच्छा बन सकता है आदमी, यही बोल रहे हैं हम. ओके. तो आप लास्ट में ये हम बोलेगा कि कोविड को डिफीट करने के लिए हम किसी के ऊपर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं करना है. हम सब अपने अपने रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना है. वी हैव टू टेक आवर ओन रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. क्या रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है? हम लोग ये SOPs है कि मास्क, नोज और माउथ दोनों को कवर करने का मास्क इस्तेमाल करना, ये बहुत जरूरी है. ये 2 तरह का मास्क है, ये बहुत सस्ता है, 3 लेयर मास्क है, सर्जिकल मास्क भी बोलता है. इसी में आपको बहुत प्रोटेक्शन होता है, 60-70% प्रोटेक्शन होता है. आप इसको इस्तेमाल करना है. आजकल घर के अंदर में भी इस्तेमाल करने का बात चल रहा है, क्योंकि एक घर में अंदर 4-5 आदमी है, 4-5 आदमी को सब इकट्ठे पॉजिटिव होना बहुत कॉमन हो रहा है, मतलब इस कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड हो गया. If one of the family members is going out to office or hospital or some places and coming and going every day, then the remaining persons in the family members in the house, they are also equally having the chance of being infected. और या ज्यादा घर में कोई किसी को इन्फेक्शन हो गया और नाइबर में इन्फेक्शन हो गया, तो ये वाला N95, ये ना N95, इसका प्रोटेक्शन 95% होता है इसमें. और दूसरा जो भाल्प होता है इसमें, जो भाल्प वाले मास्क को इस्तेमाल मत कीजिए, इसमें तो आपको प्रोटेक्शन होगा या आपके साथ में जो है उसको प्रोटेक्शन नहीं होता है, आपका एक्सपीरियंस निकल जाता है उससे। तो ये भाल्व वाला इस्तेमाल नहीं करना, वो तो 10 और ये एटमॉस्फेरिक पोल्यूशन के लिए बनाता है और वायरस के लिए नहीं बनाता है। तो मास्क पहनना, when you are wearing mask, many people are wearing like this, it is not ethic तरीका, और somebody is doing like this, ये ठीक नहीं है। दोनों इसको दोनों कवर करना है, क्योंकि दोनों इसी में वायरस अंदर जा सकता है, वायरस बाहर जा सकता है, इसको रोकने के लिए ये कर रहा है। ठीक है, ये ठीक से करना है। और इसको कोई भी जगह में फेंकना वो भी ठीक नहीं है, इसके एक जगह में उसको रखना है और बच्चों के हाथ नहीं लगाना है उसमें, इसी में भी वायरस हो सकता है उसकी सरफेस में। तो इसी करना बहुत अच्छा है, आपको तंदुरुस्त रखना, भूखा नहीं रखना, तो नींद नहीं छोड़ना, ये बहुत जरूरी है हमारा इम्यूनिटी को ठीक करने के लिए। और क्राउडेड प्लेस में, मार्केट में और थिएटर में, इसी जगह में नहीं जाना है, ठीक है ना। और कोई आप दुकान जाए, कोई हॉस्पिटल जाना है, कोई फार्मेसी में जाना है, तो आप और दूसरों के अंदर में 6 फीट कम से कम 2 गज रखना है। और हाथ धोना है। क्यों हाथ धोना है? क्योंकि हाथ में जो लगता है कोई भी चीज, इसी से वायरस आ सकता है। और आप फेस में टच करेंगे, नोज में टच करेंगे, मुंह में कुछ खाएंगे, इसी में अंदर जाएंगे। तो आपके हाथ, जो वायरस वाला हाथ, बार बार धोना भी जरूरी है। उसको धोने के लिए कितना टाइम चाहिए? कम से कम उसको 30-40 सेकेंड चाहिए। और किसके साथ? साबुन के साथ, क्योंकि साबुन जो है ना, डिटर्जेंट, वो वायरस के आउटर कवरिंग को वो नष्ट कर सकता है, उसको लिपिड कवरिंग होता है। अदरवाइज साबुन के साथ वो मर जाता है, इसीलिए बहुत जरूरी है। आप बाहर जा रहा है, पानी नहीं है, साबुन नहीं है, तो आप सैनिटाइजर कर लीजिए। एक सैनिटाइजर, ये सैनिटाइजर के आपके इस्तेमाल कीजिए। बाहर जाने के लिए छोटा वाला भी मिलता है, इसमें 90% वो अल्कोहल होना चाहिए। अल्कोहल इसमें वो वायरस को मार सकता है, तो इसीलिए इसका इस्तेमाल करना बहुत जरूरी है। और लास्ट में आप अपने अपने योर ओन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना है और सबके साथ मदद करना। सबसे मदद मांगना नहीं है, सबसे मदद देना है आपको, ठीक है। क्योंकि एवरीबॉडी नीड्स हेल्प, एटलीस्ट हाई हेलो की जरूरत होता है, क्योंकि वो लोग भी, उनके घबराहट होता है, डर सी लगता है, तो उसको काम करना, उसको ताकत देना और उसका साथ देना बहुत जरूरी है अभी इसी कोविड-19 के अंदर में। और जो छोटा बच्चा है, जो बड़े लोग हैं, बुरा लोग है, और जो थोड़ा सा पोर होता है, उसके पास पैसा नहीं है, उसके पास खाने का नहीं है, हम लोग तो है खाने का, तो थोड़ा उनको भी दे दीजिए, क्योंकि ये डिजास्टर है, ये वार की तरह होता है। तो इसी के अंदर में हम लोग सब जीना है। इसको चैलेंज को हम चैलेंज को हम मीट करना है, उनको डिफीट करना है, और हम आगे चलना है, और बिना बीमारी के और बिना खतरनाक के हम आगे चलना है। और हमारा एक दिन तो आएगा कि कैंपस खोलेगा, हम लोग स्टडी कंटिन्यू करेगा, और हमारा दोस्त लोग, हमारा टीचर्स लोग को मिलेगा। तो इसी हम पॉजिटिव फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड रखना है बराबर, नेगेटिव नहीं सोचना है, नेगेटिव नहीं एटीट्यूड नहीं रखना है, किसी के ऊपर गुस्सा नहीं करना। और जो भी सरकार के कमजोर आ सकता है, आपके लोकेलिटी के कमजोर आ सकता है, आपके फैमिली की कमजोर आ सकता है, इसको आप क्रिटिसाइज करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है। उसको आप किसी तरह से आपको मदद करना है, उसको ठीक करना है, ये तो आपके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो गया। तो हमारा कंट्री तो यूथ्स लोग का कंट्री है, यंग कंट्री, क्योंकि यूथ्स का नंबर बहुत ज्यादा है हमारा कंट्री में। तो एवरी कंट्री इज वेरी जेलस ऑफ आवर कंट्री, क्योंकि हमारा मेन पावर इतना है, हमारा एनर्जी इतना है, हमारा काम करने का ताकत इतना बढ़ता है, हमारा आर्मी का इतना, हमारा मेडिकल साइंस भी इतना कम नहीं है। इसी मतलब कोविड-19 के समय बहुत लोग सफर करता है, क्योंकि ये अनएक्सपेक्टेड था, प्लान नहीं करते थे, मगर बीमारी इतना जल्दी फैल जाती है, इतना जल्दी से स्प्रेड होता है, इसलिए हमको थोड़ा नुकसान है, अदरवाइज हमारा हेल्थ केयर भी इतना कमजोर नहीं है। ये सच है कि इसका एक्सपेंडिचर जीडीपी का खाली 1.5-1.6 होता है, ये बहुत कम है। तो हमारा सोच ये है कि कोविड-19 के लेसन लेके जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और मैन पावर हमारा कम्युनिटी में होता है, सिटी में नहीं तो कम्युनिटी में, जगह जगह में, रूरल एरियाज में जो अभी बढ़ जाएगा, मतलब उसको इम्प्रूव करना बहुत जरूरी हो गया। ये सबके मन में आ गया, तो कोई इसी तरह का पेंडेमिक आने से उसको फेस करने के लिए वो ताकत बढ़ाना बहुत जरूरी है। ये थोड़ा सा हमारा जन मन में है, जो हमारा स्टूडेंट्स लोग के थोड़ा मदद होगा मानसिक रोग को प्रिवेंट करना और पॉजिटिव मेंटल हेल्थ आने के लिए, जो थोड़ा सा टिप्स है मेरा। और इसके बाद हम क्वेश्चन ले लेंगे। आपके पास क्वेश्चन है तो क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए, हम उसका जवाब देने का कोशिश करेंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. From my
Sir, I have a question. Sir, am I audible?
1 minute. Yes, sir, 1 minute, just minute. Naina, just a minute. So first, one athlete is raising hand. Any queries from anything from athlete sides, please. Otherwise, we will go to coaches and the staffs. But Naina, is there any queries?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first I would like to say something. When raising the queries, please introduce yourself in short, so that our expert will know what are your profession, what are you doing, like that. So first, short introduction yourself, and our expert will explain the things. Okay, Naina, please.
Yeah, sir, my name is Naina, and I'm the nutritionist here at NCOE Imphal.
नैना मैम, आपका वीडियो ऑन कीजिए, वीडियो ऑन कीजिए। ओके।
Yeah. So, sir, I'm the nutritionist here at NCOE Imphal. Thank you for the beautiful session, most awaited session. I quickly have 3 questions for you. Now, the first question is, now geographically, is it, as people say, geographically, is it an influence of, people getting into a depression faster than, people who live in the non-hilly areas? जो hilly areas में रहते हैं, उनका depression जल्दी हो जाता है, ऐसे करके मैंने सुना है. Is that true?
Sir, you are muted, sir.
Shall I answer one after another, or you are giving all the 3 questions to me?
Okay, I'll put all the 3 questions so that it can be quick, sir. Actually, that is one of the questions. And the second question is, I wanted to discuss a scenario which had just occurred, before the second lockdown. एक student के साथ एक incident हो गया था, so I just wanted to discuss that. And my third question is, how much disciplining is called disciplining? To what extent are we expected to discipline the student? I'm actually, obviously, I'm confined to the kitchen area, and I monitor children in the dining hall. So how much, to what extent is disciplining considered disciplining? These are my 3 questions.
Very difficult questions, except the one. Okay, thank you, Naina. I would like, nutrition is a component or discipline where all of us are lacking. We eat whatever we want by our tongue and taste and smell, but not what it is meant for us and what is good for us. That is true for everyone, including me. So need for a nutrition is everywhere now, and I hope you will be doing quite a good job inside. Many people talks about mental health, and many of them are not that truth also. Like geographical difference is there, of course. We in the eastern part of the globe, like Mongolians, the Mongoloids, sorry, Mongoloids also suffer from depression, and those in the West, the Europeans, they also suffer from the depression. But the manifestations are quite different. In the West, manifestations are mostly psychological, that I feel sad, I feel less interested. That will be the symptom. They will come to the psychiatrist. In the these hilly areas, including Northeast India, where you are staying, the complaint will be, I have headache, I have the lack of interest, I have tingling numbness, I have loss of appetite, and these type of symptoms, like physical symptoms, are more common. But basically, both these presentations belongs to depression. And we people in the Northeast are not, we have some protective factors also. In the West, they are very individualistic. And when they have psychological or some mental disturbance, they have to go to the counselor or psychiatrist. But here we can talk to my auntie, we can talk to my friend, we can talk to my counselor. If you are in a hostel, otherwise we can talk to Nana, Nani, Dada, Dadi, friends. We are in the joint family most of the time, and it's a very good protective factor, very cohesive family. Society. That is the protective factor. Of course, we do have lots of depression cases, and other factors are the socio-political disturbance, lack of employment, like employment generation programs, unemployment, and low socioeconomic status. These are the factors. So we cannot say that it is a topographical difference, but we can say that there are differences from region to region, and our state where you are stationing is also having a very high mental illness prevalence rate of 19%, where the country is having 13%. So we are having more number of depression, and it is because of multifactorial, not only a single factor. Is your question answered, Madam Nayana?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Second one we will take up on the third one I will take up now. How much is disciplining? How much is discipline required? It depends on the particular area. Say you are in the game, you are in a match, you have to follow strictly the rules and regulations of that game. You are in the lobby, you are in the hostel, you are a little bit relaxed, and you can also enjoy your informal interactions with your friends. And if you are in the kitchen, you have to follow the basic regulations of the kitchen, that don't be very noisy, don't disturb the other people, don't take other people's meal, and don't create this thing, dirt and all around the kitchen. And you have to follow the queue and this and that. You might have been agreed upon some terms and conditions, but I always believe that disciplining should not be only from one side. Disciplining should be from both ends, and it should be agreed upon, and not it should be what you call fish out, and it has to be what you call strictly what you call sort of authoritarian type. Like you have to do like this, you don't do that, not like that. So we have to sit down and we have to create our own terms and conditions to be followed in the kitchen, in the dining hall, in the lobby, in the playground, like that. And if they are also part of the decision making, they will be more willing to adhere to those rules and regulations. So how much we cannot quantify, we have to qualify that situation should not, that individual's behavior should not create disturbance to the smooth functioning of that particular discipline or area. Say, for example, smooth functioning of the kitchen, smooth functioning of the dining hall, it is not disturbed by that student, then he is well disciplined. If he is creating nuisance and disturbing the other people and not a smooth functioning of that particular place, then he is not disciplined. So I will keep it like this, and it cannot be quantified. And most of the time, what is wrong, what I found is that it is only one-sided. You create this and that, do's and don'ts, and you impose on the students that you have to follow this. I might be wrong, it might be have a different system inside, but in other places I found this is the way. So the student usually revolt sometimes. They deliberately want to break the rules. And it is their age also, that adolescent. They are very naughty in a sense. that sometimes they deliberately would like to disturb the environment and go against the rules and regulations. That we have to understood also, because this is the age that is working behind that mind. So we have to carefully handle such situation. Not only punitive action will work, we have to counsel them and we have to motivate them, and we have to even take opinions from them. And is it okay, ma'am?
Yes, yes, absolutely, sir. I understand that you shouldn't be, you shouldn't make them rebellious and then, get things done in a way that they would like to do it. I totally understand that.
Okay.
Now, coming to my
Please
second
share
question. So
scenario.
we had when very recently there was this kid. I do not want to mention the background of the kid and things like that. But the kid was around, I think, 10 years or 11 years maximum.
Okay.
And it probably happened like this, that, she came in very newly to the hostel. And from the very first day, we started seeing some, abnormal behavior, as in she liked to stay aloof. She didn't want to mingle with anybody. We tried as much to, get her into a company where wo comfortable ho sake thoda sa, but it wasn't happening. So ek baar to she actually went away from the hostel. She, without telling anybody, she just left the hostel and went away. So, and then her parents brought her back, promising that, this will not happen again. And the warden and we all considered it, and then we said, all right, fine, we can take her back. But then we still saw that, she wasn't very comfortable. Although she was good in her game, she was a good athlete. We could see some prospects happening with her. But again, it happened, and she started standing near the windows all by herself, looking, staring at people unnecessarily. We couldn't really understand what was going on with her. Now, in such a situation, what would your advice be? Should we keep her? For how long can we actually keep such athletes? Because there was a pressure from the parents' side saying that no, wo theek ho jayegi, wo, just because she's away from home, she's behaving like this. So is this a kind of a pressure? Agar hum log usko pursue karke, we deliberately keep the athlete with us. Finally, we sent her back. That's a different thing. But how would you consider this situation?
This is the failure of both the parents and the authority of Psy. Please don't mind, because this is a condition of mental unsoundness, and either maybe she is homesick, or maybe little more than that. There is a chance of childhood depression. The way she is behaving, aloof, withdrawn, staring out of the window, and not playing with the other friends, though it's an opportunity to mix with the other friends of her age and play around in the green playgrounds together. That is a very good opportunity. In spite of that, she is doing in a different way. So the first thing is to be not to be harsh with her in future in such a case, and try to talk out what is in mind. And if she is not reluctant and she is not talking out, then the next thing is we have to allow her to interact with a counselor. I hope Sai also has a counselor. So if the counselor is finding some psychological disturbances, then if necessary, refer to a psychiatrist. And if we manage by counseling and medication, then she could have been continued her opportunity to stay inside. So now also, if the opportunity still exists, then let her go through the assessment and if required treatment, and she will accept the opportunity once again if she comes out of this mental situation. I think it will not be a severe condition. One condition, if she has similar history in the past, running away from home without telling the parents, like this one happened in the hostel, that we can consider about conduct disorder. Conduct disorder is a mental disorder happening amongst the children, and that can be managed by behavioral counseling and all that. But otherwise, it might be either number one, I would put it as a homesick, and number two is the first time coming out of the home, leaving behind parents, and number two, childhood depression. These two are a high possibility in my mind, and both of these two are manageable and recoverable. She can come out of it. So this is the condition. In future, some children behave like that, please don't hesitate to take help from the psychologists and psychiatrists before taking a final decision. That will be my request.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next is we will hear from one athlete from badminton, Ibris Sorokardon. Ibris,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
start your video and unmute. And,
Okay, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Mhm.
Sir, my question is how to control stress, and I am actually epilepsy patient, so I suffer all the time in stress during the playtime also, while in the bedtime also.
Okay. How long you are having this diagnosis?
So actually from my age was in 6 something, like
Now you are
I am 15.
6 years to 15 years, 9 years suffering.
Yes, sir.
How frequently you are having attacks, seizures?
Actually, I don't know how to say, but sir, I
Monthly?
manipulated.
Once? Calm the mukha
Manipulated
hobra.
hajarak.
Calm the mukha hobra. Calm the mukha hobra.
Sir, I hapta amdadi haude sir. Si markta hoge sir, I sigi 9 years sigi manungda I mari rakumadi haubre.
Oh, dudi
Ado,
yang tuin hau.
oh sir.
Hidak cari bro.
Hidak chai sir.
Regular cari bro.
Chai.
The last attack tikam kanda no.
Last attack before 2 years sir.
Before 2 years, okay. 3 years the attack free already. Ko hidak kara handa bayar ko ni. Ado tension siga epilepsy siga di always mari lai na badi nate. Epilepsy lai ba missing tension lai tana nungai na lai ba suyawi. Epilepsy na da ba mi su tension lai ba mi tension lai ba yawi. Ko do ani si amana maga po han badi ai ado ani si sungau always sagon na ragat chat pani habdi nate ba. Ko aduna epilepsy ki su treatment tausi aduga tension stress ki su treatment tausi. Ko tension stress ki si tungana hidak su lai aduga hidak tawdringa da ina hauji haigiba tips macha singdo aduga thinking process adagi chaba thakpa tumba adagi wakalon adagi namanabaga reach out tawba wari sanaba recreation kar tawba ko hobby ma tawba hobby ai ngasa haiba kaure hobby is very good ko sanabana hobby oibsawi sanabana profession oibsawi adagi hai lai thaba ko sa loiba hui loiba hawdong loiba pet sama loiba ko when you keep a hobby other than your profession, just like gardening, keeping a pet or aquarium, or singing, or listening to music, or even reading, or all these things are very good. For someone who is having epilepsy, you have to be always calm, and don't forget to take your regular medication, and also you have to check up your eyes. No, when your eyes the refractive errors is there, then you focus on mobile or you focus on books for quite long time, it might trigger the stress in the eye, might trigger your seizure also. So you have to be all around healthy, physically and mentally. Okay. Yeah, Bo.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, yeah, sir.
Okay.
Next is from one more athletes, Jet Li Kuman, Karate Do, Sai STC Imphal. Jet Li.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
May tiro na hangagi sir.
Yeah, hamu yeah.
Sir, corona ay bilay na si ako'y hapsang da karamahin tawlaga sir ako'y da nare ay na gano khang na sir aduga corona ay bilay na si na ako'y da kayam sokan man sir.
Nana khangba na ro.
Sir, khang bay sir log thungba adu kok chikba kung na adugumba ay sir adu
Chume. Duga masi karama makalgi mahigno karamaina hachang dasang bano.
aduga corona na misina hapsang da kamhain sok puno siya.
Haige. Corona isi nang kidi ki brakamai tawe.
Corona kiti sir.
Kidi ya. Aduna nang lambi chapta kanoga marks ko upta bida dum chali thana udradi dum marks upte hai chumbro.
Sao mai tawe sir.
adu nang khang ba hai ba ma ki ba hai ba ma ni sui ki ba di yam ki ba da kar oi de adu bu khang ba da kar oi nang hang yam phai ko corona hai ba si minna u ba phang da ba yam na kup pa mahik ni hing kup ka we ko na ko mahik yam kup pa aduna nang nuksita natraga kanaguma nangi manakta leiba amana lok kuba kanda mahik tu pai thorok pa wangang ba kan pai thorok nang na uroi ba masak to udrabni na nang kidre da na ko adu udraga su mana paisalaga nangi sor hon bada natraga ya ka thuko matamda mana sangi se mit ne naton ne ya chin je om sine man sangi se ko aduna khoina mit ka anobob salaba google sama aduga chin ga naton ga sina mark samup salaba adurdi nangi manak adai da covid na ba mi leirasu nangona changba ngamoy ko adagi masina mahik sina akoigi chana bagi natraga sor hon bagi mari changra kan khanau yor kan da ko masina ayam matam da changi lungs ta change lungs ta ko thirin da changbu sawi lungs ta changbu sawi adu ya yamna handa common oina second wave ta tori lungs ta sor hon bagi thabom bi ka widana khangbra nang chelo ra kan daga sor yamna changna changna hon bu thabet hon bu do lungs ko ai ko sor hon ba adu da changaga magi ACE2 receptor and lay adu budi hairaroge mahik sin nappa yaba mafam khara layeba akoina yum amada changbada thong ama thidra thong du leiramadi changi ko thong lolamadi chang yabra
yati sa
adumaina akoigi mahik sina changbam thong mayam ama layeba langsida adu changi doiba adu changaga macha pokthok toiba manungda ko mai mayum saraga mana mi mayum du laga ko adi masina macha yam bo kanda hana leijaramba hana gi hakchangi ngakthoknaba sakti se mana loi hatoega mana oina ningthok sara panigre ko adui di nangsi langsi mana makon sajin gibnina sor honba yaroi sor adi nangi function tawbudu mana yumdang bana kaina ba haidu nang khangbra ni memda laksalaga mapu sabado adumaina tawbudagi langse mathau tawba ngamdre sor honba ngamdre oxygen wale sor honba ngamdramina oxygen yaudradi midu kedok tai siba tai ko aduna koina layengi si oxygen se ahen ba pisaline aduga magi sor honba ngamdabadu kulai tharaga koige kano ventilator toroga holhaline ko adui maraktu da mahik se masing handa na ba koina hidak lang kar kai thare adu hidak su chap chaba leitri ba husik se ko mateng pang na hidak ti leiba pura mahik se hat na budi leitri ba adu main toroga hakchang da sangraga mana sor honba wahalle langsi sogalle thirin da sangraga diarrhea to holle wa aduga symptom sina ahan badadi kari hain tawni lok lai hoga chamane lok lai hogdi nang tawgre da na musu tawdo nang nung marka sanaru bagi tawdai ne
sir
andak su nang haino macha ga amelaga chayan tai chumbro
ta ti sa
lok thungan gano lok thungba se hojikti covid la natabra se khangba yang warabne ko adu horokpa kan di lok thungba chamanani adu khara henna tapna henjalakani soromba warakani soktarakani diarrhea torokpa yai adu mahau khangaktaba manam khangaktaba kainoba ma naton ga khanawda sangrabnina mahau khangadaba khanawi saruk sumana hatokpa adu manam khangadaba naton gi saruk sumana hatokpa aduna mahau khangde manam khangde ko mit ngange mit sangri armain tawni khangadra khara
bosa
khangadro
khangi
aduragati nang handak tholakpada thana leirasu leitrasu marks upadro
upani sa
marks pu leirabo nang kya
leida
ta thabiro
ayani
namok thamangai mamang leigiba marks tura husbau tawida
anatte naubane
anba leigadaba lupa kun tara khata piramni husdi ko yumda saba marks to ikan kana de siguma marks leyo ko lupa kun ta pibne
hoy sa
ko pharmacy dagi are ko na be ade kibidi na nang marks ukta du yade ko
So next is Rajesh Kumar. I think you are raising your hand. Rajesh, is there any queries?
Yes,
Introduce
sir.
yourself and in short.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rajesh, yes.
Good afternoon, Dr. Saab.
Good afternoon.
First of all, thank you very much for your nice session. Sir, my question is related to the sports, sir.
Okay.
During the competition, just before the competition bout or competition match, each and every player has an anxiety. It can be differ individual to individual, but every player has anxiety. So, is there any way to overcome this anxiety level or reduce this anxiety level, sir? Please.
Okay, very good question.
Thank you, sir.
Nowadays, every institution are employing psychologists to handle this type of anxiety. Anxiety is not always bad. Sometimes anxiety is required. Anxiety is helping us to perform well. Okay, that is
Yes, sir.
called optimum anxiety or optimum stress, we call it. When the athlete is not having any anxiety, he does not bother about the game, he does not bother about winning, then the team will suffer. One should have certain level of anxiety that I must win, our team must win. That level of anxiety is very good. But if some anxiety, sometimes it is more than required. It is excessive anxiety that it will decrease the performance of that athlete. That palpitation will be there, that shortness of breath will be there, that cold sweating, wetness of the palm and sole is there. Then he's being restless, and his thinking capacity is decreased, judgmental capacity is decreased. The way he speaks is a little bit abnormal, very hasty, and then sometimes commit mistakes. That means judgment is impaired. That level of anxiety is harmful. It will be harmful to the athlete as well as to the team. So that can be handled in two ways. One, if it is not very extreme case, counseling alone will be sufficient. With some tips like I have given, he has to practice regularly at home, like breathing exercise, yoga, meditation, and keeping a hobby like that. And coaching from the coach that some form of anxiety is required, but it is not necessary to have this much of anxiety. It is unnecessary. It has to be convinced to the athletes being taught, and it should be part of the curriculum that how much anxiety is good and how much anxiety is bad, and we should try to control ourselves. That if somebody has lots of confidence, that anxiety will slowly go away. But in case of pathological anxiety that is beyond the control of that athlete, we need professional help. Scolding them, trying to give them punishment, or trying to impose something that will aggravate, that will increase the situation, then it is the duty or responsibility of the coach like SAR to detect and refer such type of athletes who are having, in your opinion, anxiety level which is more than necessary. As you have rightly said, every athlete or every team members, even the Olympians, they have achieved their best, and they have gold medalists. In the next Olympic, they do have the anxiety. It is not without anxiety, but with this anxiety, their performance is even more. The performance during the practice and the performance in the Olympic, sometimes the performance in the Olympic excels. That is because of that anxiety that drives him to the best level of his performance. So we should understood properly about the anxiety and its role, or in other words, stress and its role in the performance of the athletes. Do I answer it properly, sir? Or you have a different opinion?
Sir, you are muted, Rajesh sir. Rajesh sir.
Rajesh, microphone on karo.
Actually, I am suggested to my boxer. Actually, I am a boxing coach, sir. Basically, I am suggested to my boxer just before the bout, listen a good music so that your mind can be diverted from the competition bout or etc. and you feel slightly relaxed.
That's good idea. Very good idea. But
Yes,
that is temporary.
Yes, sir.
That is,
yes, sir.
But during the practice hour, during the training period, you have to detect the level of anxiety in your athlete student. And if it is more than necessary, you have to try to manage it. What you are doing is very good right before the bout, but it might not help in some athletes because their inbuilt anxiety is so high that music will not be able to suit them.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So both your approach is very good. I appreciate, but long-term management is that is not sufficient. Thank you for the question. It's a good question.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks. Thanks.
Next query is from.
Can I, sir? Can I ask questions, Bhupendra sir?
Sir, Rinki, please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Rinki is badminton coach, sir. Rinki is badminton coach, so he will raise some queries.
Myself,
please.
Okay.
Rinki, a
Okay.
badminton coach, sir. Sir,
Okay.
before I joined Sai, sir, I was working in MD Manipur Badminton Association. So I work with some players, sir, top players. They have a rank in.
Internet is not working, I think.
Internet tak kena. So
Hello.
we will try to contact later on. So now,
Can I, sir? Hello. Sir.
who is this?
Sir, I'm talking from Gunita ma'am phone, sir.
Gunita.
Okay. Continue.
Sir, before I was joined from side, so I was work with Manipur Badminton Association. So I'm working with some players like top players and Indian players. So they have, sir, preparation is very going well. Everything is going well. Training is very well. So sometimes having some tournaments. One particular one players. So I have confusion with sometimes he play very good. Sometimes he play very bad. So the mental is the fluctuates. So I'm confusion also because like training is very good, everything is good, diet is very good, sir. Then some top players he can beat sometimes, and some unseeded players he lost something like that. So वो होने के बाद सर मेरे को माइंड में वो आ रहा था, हम लोग उसी टाइम पे स्पोर्ट्स साइकोलॉजी यहाँ मणिपुर में इतना वो नहीं था, तो आई वाज सजेस्टेड टू पेरेंट्स एक आप ऐसा करो, आप एक साइकेट्रिक्स डॉक्टर्स मतलब यहाँ पे इतना उसी टाइम पे स्पोर्ट्स साइकोलॉजी का फैसिलिटीज भी नहीं था, तो सो एज अ कोच आई एम सजेस्टिंग टू पेरेंट्स टू कंसल्ट विद सम साइकेट्रिक्स डॉक्टर्स. एंजाइटी लेवल उसका बहुत हाई था सर, क्योंकि गेम्स में प्रैक्टिस में अच्छा खेल रहा था और ये
मोबाइल में हांग होंगे नहीं पता.
ओके. देन उसी टाइम पे सर वो हुआ था, तो मैंने सर आपके पास ही भेजा था सर. आप उसको याद करा नहीं करा मतलब मालूम नहीं सर. एक पेरेंट्स था कक्सिंग से सर, वो एक प्लेयर था पुंसीव करके, आपके पास ही भेजा था सर मैंने. तो पेरेंट्स भी पहले तो शौक हुआ था, क्योंकि मेरा बेटा कि क्यों साइकेट्रिस्ट का डॉक्टर का क्या क्यों भेजा है. एक कंसेप्ट है सोसाइटीज में है, मतलब एक साइकेट्रिस्ट डॉक्टर के पास भेजा तो ऐसा लगता है पागल हो गया उसका बच्चा. तो मैं कन्विंस करके उसको पेरेंट्स को एक बार आपके पास जाओ, आप इसमें आप ये बेस्ट डॉक्टर है साइकेट्रिस्ट के बारे में, आपका बच्चा में आई कैन नॉट जजमेंट, बहुत कभी कभी बहुत अच्छा खेलता है, इसके बाद कोई मतलब टॉप प्लेयर्स उसको मतलब टॉप प्लेयर वो हरा सकता है, और कभी कभी वो एकदम अनसीडेड प्लेयर में लॉस होता है फर्स्ट राउंड में. तो आई एम कंफ्यूजिंग सर.
शॉर्टन ए लिटिल रिकी, थोड़ा सा
तो
छोटा करो
सर आपके पास भेजा था, तो मेरा एक लास्ट कंक्लूजन है सर. तो एक साइकेट्रिक डॉक्टर के पास कोई पेरेंट्स या हमारे स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन जाता, तो जो सोसाइटी इसमें मतलब हमारा बच्चा पागल है साइकेट्रिक से, ऐसे ही कंसेप्ट सर, तो ये चीज हम लोग को कैसे रिमूव करेगा और उसका मतलब वही है.
I consider this is happening everywhere, but because of our effort in the last 2 decades, it is much decreased now, and many of the children, normal children, they come to our department or to me also for increasing their memory, for increasing their concentration by themselves. And parents are saying, why you are requesting me to go to Dr. Lenin? And the children said, no, we want to increase our memory. This is reversing now. Earlier, now also, as you have said, parents, that generation of 30 years, 40 years, 50 years का generation, उसका mind में अभी भी ये है कि psychiatrist is meant for पागलपन, it's for mad people. But now the younger generation have realized, right, maybe from their experience or maybe from their learning from the books and from the different sources, now they are accepting more. It will take some more time, but we are trying very hard. And from the coach also, when you refer, please explain properly. The psychiatrist nowadays, as I said in the beginning, that we are doing now promotion of mental health, now not treating of mental illness. So this boy require promotion of mental health, that correction of his mistakes, not that we are going to give medicine to treat his mental illness. He is not having mental illness. He is having something to do with emotional imbalance, which he cannot control from time to time. So this type of example you please give, and they will accept. Earlier, my colleagues also, when they refer patients, that they will shout back to them, and I will go to some other doctor. You are not the only doctor. Why you are referring me to psychiatrists like that? So it is not only one-time experience, it's many times, but it is going away very fast now. Please don't worry, Rinki, and you help us to spread the good information.
सर इसमें कोई medication कोई add करना है सर, मतलब sports psychology तो method lot of methods
after assessment. Yes, after assessment.
Thank you sir.
Assessment we might add.
Thank you sir.
So next is Laisam Sophia. Sophia, please unmute yourself. Video on karo or I.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Sophia.
I'm Laisam Sophia, archery player, NCOE Imphal, sir. Firstly, can I ask in Manipuri language, sir?
Yes, I Manipuri khange.
Sir, I say archer apoy na ko, sir. Kogi kano thokpa competition thokpa matamda competition je kui na tho udraba matamda kogi corona level hantak tasudum kui corona level competition ama sileba da su yam kano tawba kui na tho udabagi pakhat pa leke tawba iduga aingwanda pakhat pa ke tawba coaching pi bada breathing tawba meditation ke ka sum happy adu juna koi phadaraga adum competition thokpa dingame ba aduga akhoi sounding ba competition da sounding ba su lak pa yawe di akdang da ten palak ta ba ka dok ta ba yawe body fight muk adumaina na tab ni na sir akhoi sounding e ka dore na koi na yam palhaning na da pangkap da caption ba su ya da ba sir adu sounding ba se ka maina hoi phada du no na sir dai khangjaning e
sounding ba di sounding ga dum pharani na
sir adum toina thokpadi na te sir dum marakta lakpusu yawe dumaina sounding ba adu akoi gi pakhat padi breathing lauraga adagi akoi gi artery gi sum kano sing form sing step by step sum ningsing aga ka doraga oja sing na dumaina takpiraga pakhat pa kai dawdi phaiye coaching da sum oja na hapiraga aduga sounding ba se sidi breathing tower sudum wakal da chang da ba dum wakha dum sounding bagi dum laiba ten pan de na
yare na ayamba saw basi ten pan da bangak tandra yum da su khara saw bro mina megi sa thokiba gumba mimi singju kam da gumba da khara saw bro
saw de sir adudi adu aina sounding ba se sir aidi haidok pa gumba ka da ba se taw da ba ithan ta sum phajala kappa ga dum pa
okay yare ai khak number 1 na nang sahi am driba male sahi kya sure
19 sir
oh phane ya me dudi nang ke bahut thada yare adu di sounding bagi maram se nang na hai ba se nang na palhaning ba ten du pande hai ne ba ko nang na khanga ta ba se 100 ti paloi chumbra 100 paloi doctor na na ba yang ba su 100 chi phan ba ngam de aduna doctor to pa ta sakhi ba yawi ai ga na ba ga se ko adu dai na thawai nungai ta ba sauru ba ya de koi se perfect na te ba koi na khanga da ba ni ko but I am trying to be near to perfect ke mana to nakshan ba koi honai ni perfect sunai lete ba nangi any world archer kwai dei hai ba har su perfect oi de mai awar pakra leiram ka ni ba ko koi na tanari bi se kai no near perfect oi doi ne ba ko adu nang nok thok ka da ba ni hai di pungning da pan de ni hai na ko accept to ba nang je superhuman being na te ba nang je superwoman na te ba ko nang Sophia ne ba chumbra aduna nang na honari se training to se hen na phagat na ne ba chumbra nang perfect oi de du later su yare thokla ga ka pi khuding pa la di side later su yare na dum competition yauraga gold medal lauraga nungai na phama cha lai yare yadro adu nang kari gi satri oi no nang tambaloi tri bai ne ba chumbra
hoi chumba sir
chumba sir pungning se phada ga da ba aina ka pu khuding pan dog na te adu bu aina sida sauru ra de amo hena pa la roi aduna ICD accept to butai haina failure se is the pillar of success haibra no no coach na su hairam ngani ko aduna mina defeat to se kamai to ge bo atopa team na no da sounding na ba no da usita ba kihan ba emotional threat to ba blackmail to ba tor kani ba ko atopa team na ko kai gino bo nang na pakhat ba nang na saw ba tor ka nang ka pa soi doi ne ba thisu akoi psychological warfare se sports ta si nei ba tatar ba aduna nang aina sa hai ba do love yourself confidence thamona sada ko ain to say it's my best haiba I'm not doing best but I am not the best but I am doing my best haiba ai sina mayam dagi kwai dagi best ti oiram da ba yai aduba aina tawjari ba se ai gi di kwai best tu thokjarabani ana khallo kena ba ju khanga ba akoi tara lebada ne koi tara lebada aina kwai dai phaba archer di oiram da ba yai aduba aina hona jari se ai gi level da di kwai dagi phaba chang tu hona jarabani ai kem kha haudrabani ko chabadagi chenbadagi sor sajen dagi meditation dagi adagi khutsa practice to dagi aina tawjari ba se ai gi best ni ana khanga da ba ko adu kan tapna nang na mayam dagi helaka doi ni ko aduna saur kan di masak su thijali adai em su manga e ten su pande kai ka nei ko
oi sir
adro yam sau da saur budi hidak pi ni ado anang adu yong na sau budi pande ko
sir marak da sum sounding ba yawe adum di taw ba na ba
hoi saur nu ko dagi
oh sir thank you sir
okay
I am not the best, but I am trying my best. I'm Pajapa, sir. Ado, sir, what do you want me to question? Any jungle of Kachaki?
Yeah, I know.
Ado, Matanga, Mem Toy Widrom, introduce yourself and tell your story to our expert.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mem Toy.
I'm Mem Toy Widrom, ISCT Fan Karate. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯁꯥꯗ ꯑꯦꯟꯖꯥꯏꯇꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯀꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯇꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯁꯣꯔ ꯍꯣꯟꯕ ꯋꯥꯕ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯊꯛꯄ ꯇꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯕ ꯏꯁꯥꯗ ꯆꯤꯡ ꯂꯥꯎꯕꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯛꯆꯥꯡ ꯁꯣꯟꯊꯕꯒꯨꯝꯕꯁꯦ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ
ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯣ
ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯀꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯦꯟꯖꯥꯏꯇꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯇꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯏꯁꯥꯗ
ꯑꯩ ꯚꯥꯞ ꯇꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯈꯔ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯌꯣ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ
ꯃꯦꯝ ꯊꯣꯏ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ
ꯅꯪ ꯀꯔꯤ jerk habra
anxiety-gumba anxiety stress-gumbaze toina tawba matamdane
noigi karate gi maron normal e
nate sai stress-gumba
mayek sing di aduna ni
nangi kero du microphone du kitang nagsalo
nangi wazana su tabada aw khangri
stress
anxiety
anxiety ga haiba mal bhai
stress anxiety haiba
ya khang nang microphone du ni ma di sing na haijari pon ni da
mane
stress anxiety leiba kanda leitana ma tawba amaga leirakan tawba amga ani sui ko leitana ma tawbadi aina leitana ma tawbadi haibadi prevention gi aina sa haigre dana ko aina sa haibado adui mathakta hobby ama thamba adagi pet kuma ma thamba adu mind relax tawon ba dum haigre adu hoba kanda tawgadabadi koina di hoba kanda di toina horaga di counselor amagi mateng loraga akoigi deep breathing exercise the progressive muscular relaxation therapy kaina lai aduna sumu yaraktraga di hidak su mupi ba ko mem toy aduna kayam toina hobono thamada mukanga hobajala natraga chahim dam tang hobra natraga sum toina horaga di amtang professional amaga wari sadok pa machangi ba ko aduna moina pirakadoi si haudana ba sajen mayam am pirani haurakanda tawgada khara ma pirani ko aduna nangi yam common ni maroina covid 19 manung da di adu yam tawe ba ko adu treatment do hojikti hospital la chalaga kya tawdre adu online da tawba yai na toll free number am lai 104 da phone tawra 104 ya recommend
Can I ask one question, sir?
Ngaiko matangda course maraktagi abu jotin
Good evening, sir. I am Jotin, Sepak Takraw coach.
Oh, Sepak Takraw.
Yes, sir. Sir, most of our students now in the Psy is from 10 years to 20 years. In this stage are all maybe adolescent stage, sir. So, sir, my question is, during this time, sir, it is very, very important for the life training stage. So we are learning, and we have to care them in a very effective way. So, sir, for caring and for learning and for treat them according to the growth and development, is there any specific tips for their according to growth and development? Aina haiba sa English da kitang mong tado sa inkalakpa matam sida angangsing si mapa mo ina oja mo ina angangsing loina bagi mong si yamna hai singba art ama oina season ba darka laibra na khali sir masigi matang sida oja mo oina mama pa oina magi inkhala iba matam sida akoina loina bagi mong se usa karam ba mong da loina bana angangsing hi tungi e goal akoina phanganingi ba goal se sida hena phangba ngamna bai da mutam akoige loina bagi mong se akoina samna haibda phuraga sairaga pressure piraga phangbagi pot oidoribra
Jotin haise yamna important oiba every sepak takrok da natana loinamak ta darkar oigadam ne duna ai thamsage. The handling of the adolescents it needs a very understanding and skill. Understanding and skill si kamay to gebu akoina angang apik pada loinabaga when we handle the children below 10 years and the adolescents that is 10 to 19 years and adults above 20s and all, it is quite different. In this age group of adolescents, just friendly approach is more acceptable than threat or this one punishment or imposition, and they should be given an opportunity to take part in the decision making. Moise decision lo bukan moise saruk yan bese mo yang harawe ba the moine khali se id chawram ni id pakang phare le sabi pharen khali da sitau na pakun sibai mong da hairadi moise yaning de ba aduna let them also be feel good that I am also consulted and moi decision lo da aje koi rules and regulations same lang sai soina haijeb do adum kanda ai busu tanarami ai busu tanabirami kana moi wakal da pawan bese it's very important moi the moral booster way ba adu moi si koi parents sa mane parents su moi da impose over kan moi evolve or kani aduna moi bu understand to bibam changi ai koi su moi dong adolescent where ni moi the power wa kan si ni ko hormonal change ma yamam la ini nupam sa nupim sa hek lang na le mas yor kani adu koi na yam hai na handle to ba ikai han bagumba chai bi bagum na thing bang moi manung dagi power pa ithil ni ko adagi substance abuse jam tawning ba matam ni adagi rule thugai ning ba matam ni rule amai lon na ai course da bakan kan hek to bisi mo yam pam gani masida koina maya mangda ikai ba piba gumba to biroi da bani moi tungan na ngai kan da tungan na mabu loina bibam di chungthok na ba hona bibisna hena chume maya mangda hai ba dai ikai khang dai kwang ko le na moi si atab thawok lom da hena chakib su yawe ko adu masi achauba lesson ke para mani masi su punga mani changa da pot ni aduna tips khara si oina thamjarage oja jotin ko
thank you sir thank you sir thank you sir
so mathang da linthui ngan bi
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ango yes
Sir, kano sir dagi khomjani ge kano ai hockey player amane bako ada goalkeeper ado ai je kai kaishu na taba kan da tum sauninga ga leba aduga kano ai practice to the focus to ngam da ba dum isa da sauni mi amana ha ba wa ma ha ba kan isa ne am sauning ba oi ba aduga kaishu na tragan da aki bagumba dum leba sije
kari haina ki wandarakani narakani kholi hana ki bra natraga mi unabada confidence watpa mi na mingon da wangang ba khotpa team members na wangang ba khotpa da kitang confidence watpa admai trom do mali
hoi sir wa amanga mo kala kai ni am
tumgadra langadra soigadra yam khan ba tare tara tongna
hoi sir
adai kitang negative ta haira su yum yoraga chaka changdaba num khalla leba ma hai tu kai gino na natra
hoi sir adu ahinga tumba ya da bi tum toina toeba
kayam kuirage
sir adum khat dum kuire
tha mari ma sure
hoi sir
kai ni
game manung the tension na tum layega focus to ngam the ball ga se tum nan thokpi do adai tera
aduna ne nangi kitang assessment am tawba dakar dai nang emotionally imbalance ore kapning bu suphare ko aduna kitang akhoi gi counseling kara tawraga dan nang apapa player mo yani ko ana su yam phazan sanare ado emotionally balance oidradi maduna khutta laga bond paloi doini kok tagi haidarak pangak tani loina mak se ko se pakta koro oigera badminton oigera hockey oigera kok sima yamna phasana keno stable oiba machangi ko ka holakadori ni yaidori ni mapachana goal post mapachana yaidori ni natra nong matana se akhoi counselor sing lei ado hojiki 104 duda tawge su tawra duda counselors lei ko
sir aduga amana hostel amada ko hostel amada mi lei ba aduda handak akhoi hostel da tawgi ba sir corona na ba akhoi hostel ki hosteler kamuda corona na mi amtang tole ba test taw matamda
amaka
hoi sir aduga lemina ba je akhoi room lemine ba aduga akhoi da kai ni corona leminari ba chaminari ba khoi tu kuna leminai do corona se akhoi da di lansilak tra kama katang kamaina positive oino se khangjaning
very good akhoi gi tb harba lena du khangbra
khange sir
tb si hauji akhoi gi koi bada aina phami ba ka nang phami ba ka du da dum pairaga lei mai se ko ado tb na de nang aisu na de ko ado nang na masa son tharak pa kanda tb hi mahik sina nangoda laina pohon banga meba ko adu maina nang na hauji lei ma pham aina lei sisu corona gi virus tu pairam bai ai leiram bai ai ba ko adu nang na kalling hoi di ma nangoda chango ai ba ko aduna akoina haido immunity kankhalu kap kanu na thai nungai taba tawnu pakat pa tawnu pakalaga corona na nong na sangakani haise aduna mi khuding makta na de imung amada su mi manga naraga mi ani na hudaba yawi ka ado hara maga nang na loina daba ading number 2 da marks upa kudam dokpa section ta hoba number 3 da masagi ngathok na bagi pangal wang magadi changoi haba ko
yes sir
khangani ko
yes sir thank you sir
okay
so we took a lot of time. Now another session may be there for other coaches. So now we will conclude the discussion over here. Next is I would like to request our Deputy Director Shri Ibom Singh to give some comments on today's session. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Lenin, for your cooperation to build up our athletes in the higher level, higher performance. Really, I appreciate you, sir. Thanks. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Last, I would like to invite our respected Regional Director, sir, Shri Francis Marwin, to sum up today's session, sir.
Thank you, Lokendra. Thank you very much, Dr. Lenin. Thank you once again, because the session was very, very interesting. In fact, the time we took around, I think, more or less 1 hour 45 minutes. So it means, and maximum numbers of, I think today, maximum numbers of our athletes participated in the discussion.
Okay, very nice, sir.
Yeah, that's what very, very interesting. I think, and another thing is the way you explained, it was very, very simple, and you did not use much scientific terminology. That was the beauty of the session. That means that's what our all athletes, they could understand. They understood whatever you explained, and that what makes the session more interesting.
Okay,
so
thank you,
we will I hope you will accept our invitation again. In future we may require your help again. So
sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. So last, I would like to thank these experts for sparing your valuable time and joining with us and they stay with us and giving very, very important and useful words to our athletes, coaches, and the official. I hope that we will meet again. We will request you, and we will set a date again with new topics, sir. So
okay.
thank you very much, sir.
And before
Yes, sir.
concluding, I would like to request that I have my request in the beginning that please
Yes, sir.
extend some help, by giving phone number of the willing athletes so that our study may be concluded during this COVID-19 when the students are also having some free time, and our this researcher Fujika will contact them through phone, and we will complete the study. If you kindly extend some help, I will be very grateful to the whole NERC team.
Sure,
Also,
Doctor.
we are, sir. We are always.
Yes, we will extend our help, whatever support you need.
I am very grateful, sir.
That matter is already discussed with Fujika also, Doctor, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay,
so
sir.
we will do it, sir. We will.
Okay.
Sure. So thank you very much for joining this program. Thank you all the athletes, all the coaches, all the officers, especially Dr. Lenin for joining us. So time has come for winding up. So I would like to say goodbye, everyone. Stay fit, stay healthy. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.